Most of us treat artificial intelligence like a high-speed typist living inside a small chat window. But as we try to move from single prompts to actual work, that interface begins to break down. The problem with this Copilot model is that it relies on you to do the heavy lifting. Every time you copy a prompt, paste it into a new window, and carry context between different apps, you act as a manual router. The human becomes the slowest component in the digital chain. To reach true machine speed, we have to look past the assistant model. We have to look at organizations designed specifically for AI architecture from the ground up. If you want to see the technical mechanics behind this shift before your competitors do, hit the like button and subscribe. Removing the human as the manual conveyor belt requires replacing those handoffs with autonomous systems. This is how the internal structure of a company changes when AI is the core, not just a plugin. In early 2025, investor Chamath Palihapitiya defined the foundation for this shift, describing an architecture he calls the software factory. This pipeline is made of 5 specialized stations. Raw intent enters the refinery to become requirements. It moves to the Foundry for blueprints, the planner for task sequencing, and the validator for quality control. Every step is logged in the knowledge graph, the factory's collective memory. Inside any one of these stations, an autonomous loop runs without human prompting. The agent gathers context, takes action, verifies its own result, and repeats until the task is complete. But individual stations are useless if work can't move between them. How do these agents pass complex data packets without a person clicking send? This is where the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, comes in. Think of it as a universal connector for AI. Instead of writing custom code for every integration, MCP allows an agent to instantly plug into databases and tools, discovering what it needs to use at runtime. Combined with Google's agent-to-agent protocol, these systems can now talk to each other directly. A coding agent can send a structured request to a design agent, receiving a response at machine speed without an engineer sitting in the middle. This combination of specialized stations and universal protocols is what makes the continuous flow of complex work possible for the first time. These aren't just concepts. Platforms like anative.business are operational versions of this factory floor, turning these protocols into running code. The architecture rests on 5 programmable pillars. Projects and workflows handle the design. Schedules make the execution autonomous. Profiles define the agent's expertise, while permissions act as the safety guardrails for the whole system. In this environment, it takes just 4 API calls to define a task, assign it to an agent profile, and trigger a live execution stream. We can see the scale of this at companies like Stripe. Their internal agents generate over 1,300 production code pull requests every single week. These agents are effective because they can hold an entire codebase in context simultaneously. They catch architectural errors and logic flaws that humans miss because they can see every dependency across the entire system at once. When a system writes and reviews its own production code at this volume, the Copilot metaphor officially falls apart. These are live, production-grade factories. This shift is significant enough that the World Economic Forum now defines an AI-native organization as one where every decision begins by asking how AI can make the outcome exponentially better. Under this blueprint, AI involvement is the default. Humans are no longer the primary movers. Instead, human involvement in any process must be specifically justified. This doesn't mean people disappear. It means the work that AI does better, the routing, the tracking, and the repetitive data analysis, is finally off our plates. Removing the burden of micromanagement allows humans to focus on high-level judgment, creative strategy, and the relationships that drive a business forward. To see how these 5 pillars can be applied to your own operations, you can explore the reference implementation at ai-native.business. The organizations that adopt this architecture will scale at the speed of their software. Those who continue to treat AI as a chat-based assistant will remain stuck at the speed of their manual bottlenecks.